Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to the channel. Unlike any other channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, my channel exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe.
So let's get into today's video. Yesterday I did post a double tank strategy featuring a Shadow Charizard lead. The idea of the Charizard was to be an anti-fighter. However, on Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw as its cheapest move, it didn't really fulfill that role as well as I would have liked. So, as I did get a bit of leftover dust, I did power up a Shadow Crobat. You can see its IVs is a 4, 14, 15, so it's non-XL, so it is eligible for Ultra Premier Classic coming up. However, with Air Slash and Poison Fang, I feel it'll do a much better job of really beating them counter users, even something like an Escavalier. Obviously, Air Slash is neutral, so we would be able to deal with that, unlike Charizard on resisted Dragon Breath. So we are once again going with the double tanks in the back with a Legacy, Lapras on Ice Shard and Ice Beam, actually I should say double Legacy, and operating as our safe switch once again, drawing out that fighter or counter user is going to be Shadow Snorlax on its usual moveset of Lick, Body Slam and Superpower. So these are the first two sets I did. I did go positive overall. I think I've got 7 or 6 battles. I did have a couple really bad lag ones, so I'm taking them out. In game 1, we pick up a lead against Jelly. They switch out immediately into Talonflame. So we decide to come in with Lapras, as Lapras does have a slightly more positive matchup than Snorlax. We are going to allow this first move to go through. They go straight Brave Bird, which is fine, as I can take one more Incinerate as it's not boosted, fire off this Surf, and go out to do one more Incinerate and either get both shields or win the 0-1 shield. This is pretty best case scenario, as they have lowered their defense. These Ice Shards are really starting to shred it. We do actually get both shields. We're in a great spot. You can see they're now so low on health. So I'm going to come back in with Crobat, shield once, and commit to the farm down. They do throw it off the flame charge, but either way, with the lowered defense, they aren't going to be able to get to another move. We farm down. We've got loaded energy. What is in the back? We're never going to find out, as the opponent for some reason leaves the match. GG's to that opponent. Moving on into game 2, we pick up a lead against Umbreon. This is kind of neutral, however they are so bulky, they do outbulk us and they can potentially hit us for super effective with Psychic. However, they throw after 4, it's 5 snarls for a Psychic, so we know it's just a foul play. So I'm going to overfarm just a touch, fire off this Poison Fang, and I'm going to have to look to make a switch into, this time I think we're going to go with Lapras, as Snorlax's Lick would be resisted. So I'm counting the moves, I look to catch the foul play on Lapras, which we are successful. The foul play will come through, it won't do too much damage as we are so bulky, and we actually draw out a Charmer. Obviously this Charmer really wants to avoid Crobat, however Lapras is so thick that we are actually going to be able to force shield pressure. I'm not really too bothered whether I win switch or not, I'd just like to get some shield. So they let the first one go through, this second one they are going to have to shield, or they're going to lose switch. Either one is fine for us. They choose to shield, and these Ice Shards are really pressuring. Will we make one more Surf? Unfortunately not, but they are so low. The fact we haven't really got a great matchup with Crobat or Snorlax, I'm deciding to bring in Snorlax, commit to the Lick Down, and at least we can threaten that Umbreon, which is dry with energy, with a Superpower. Superpower does do around 33-40%, as Umbreon is such a tank. They bring back out the Umbreon, we get some lag. I don't know what Snorlax is doing, he's just jumping up and down, really enjoying himself, but we did miss a few fast moves there, which isn't ideal. So we're now going to build up towards the back-to-back Superpower. They've already shielded once, so I highly doubt they're going to want to commit a second shield. I'm going to get this Superpower off and look to pivot back into Crobat. We do this successfully. We are going to shield this move up in case they've got a fighter in the back. Let's see what they come in with. They come in with Giratina. So you are going to see a bit of a misplay here. As I've got so much energy, I thought perhaps they'd call a Poison Fang bait. They shield up and it looks like this is going to be a loss. I probably should have went for back-to-back Poison Fangs. Then the lick damage would be a lot more oppressive. However, unfortunately I don't do that. They farm us down and I don't really have any wink on here, so this is pretty much GG. So perhaps I would have went double Poison Fang. I could have committed to the lick down and looked to try and superpower that Umbreon in the back. But either way, GG's to the opponent. In this next matchup, we pick up another lead against Giratina. Let's see if we can deal with the Giratina somewhat better. Our 2-mon in the back are fairly decent against Giratina. However, Crobat doesn't really have the best matchup. We tank the Dragon Claw and we pivot out into Snorlax. Dragon Breath Giratina actually beat Snorlax due to Dragon Breath and Dragon Claw really adding up and us not being able to hit him for anything other than resisted. But they switch out now into an Empoleon. This isn't really what you want to see. We are going to fire off this superpower, hoping to draw either a shield or do big damage. We draw the shield. The opponent is getting really greedy. It looks like they're committing to the farm down. So this second superpower, even debuffed, will do decent damage, which it does. They are committing to the farm down. This lick damage has got them super low. I am now going to have to come in with Lapras, as Crobat doesn't really want to tank any of the charge moves from Empoleon, whereas Lapras can soak it up no problem. Our Ice Shards are double resisted due to Empoleon's Steel Water typing. However, I am going to look to try and commit to a really ambitious Ice Shard down. That will mean that we're loaded full of energy for whatever's in the back. I highly doubt they're going to bring Giratina back into a loaded Lapras. We need to try and get them down with just Ice Shard down before they make another Drill Peck. We've still got 2 shields. What is in the back? In the back is a Registeel. Registeel Lapras isn't a great matchup. Crobat Registeel isn't a great matchup. However, this is why we ambitiously farm down. They come in with Giratina, and I've learnt from my mistake last time. I'm going to Poison Fang it this time. We do draw a shield, so it looks like they love to shield. We can now double debuff this thing, commit to the Ice Shard down, and hopefully we'll be able to put out enough damage with the Lapras to get rid of this Registeel. We get completely farmed down. We've still got 2 shields. Giratina's moves really aren't that threatening, so I'm going to no-shield this. You might be thinking it's crazy. However, I know we aren't going to get Lock-On down. We take out the Giratina. Lock-On's doing absolutely nothing. Now it's going to be a case of can we get enough damage off with this Lapras before they can lock on us down. There's no point in them throwing any energy as we've got 2 shields. First Surf comes through. Looks like 2 more will be enough. So it looks like we might be 2 shield flexing. Completely unintentional, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. This next Surf will KO, and the Triple Shadows managed to somehow 2 shield flex a team that's got XL, Registeel and Giratina. You love to see it. GG's to that opponent. Moving on straight into the next battle, we lead our Shadow Crobat into Talonflame. This is kind of neutral, as the Poison Fangs do mean that we can start to really apply pressure with the Air Slashes. However, you know we need to switch out, as this is an ABB team, so on the third Incinerate, I look to catch the move on Snorlax. They fire a Flame Charge, they aren't swapping out. I know the IVs of Snorlax. We will tank this second Flame Charge. They needed 1 more Incinerate for the Brave Birds. There's no danger of us being KO'd. And just before the next Incinerate comes through, I'm going to start pressuring shield with this Body Slam. Body Slam will come really close to KOing, so they do actually shield it up. This is fine for us, as we've got shield advantage. Lapras does operate really well with shield advantage, as it's so oppressive with the Ice Shards and quite spammy with the Surfs. I fire 1 Air Slash. Before the Incinerate registers, fire this Poison Fang. We actually managed to completely take them out before taking any damage, and we've got a bit more residual energy. They now come in with Obstagoon. So I've got no idea why the opponent didn't bring Obstagoon into Snorlax, but Crobat has a great matchup here. We are ahead in energy as well. You can see these Air Slashes are really shredding. We don't need to start shielding yet, as counter is double resisted due to Crobat's Fly and Poison typing, and Obstagoon doesn't even get stabbed. So we're just going to try and debuff the life out of this thing and hope Lapras can sweep whatever's in the back. The Obstagoon now is really low. They are going to fire once again. However, I know I can shield this move up and commit to the Air Slash down. Let's see if the opponent lets me farm them down. They do not. They bring out Umbreon. We're going to debuff it with a Poison Fang, and this should mean Lapras is in a prime position to sweep. Poison Fang doesn't do a lot, but it's really that 1-stage defense debuff that we're really looking for. We're now in a great spot, as Umbreon really doesn't hit very hard, and you can see these Ice Shards, especially with a debuff, are really adding up. We are going to save our shield for that Obstagoon in the back. Once again, you are going to see I'm always looking to overfarm, so when the Obstagoon does come back out, we can threaten it with a Surf. This Surf should do now decent damage with the debuff. It actually gets them super low. Just before they get to their next move, I am going to fire this move off. The opponent's got a decision to make. Do they want to shield it up? They do not. The Obstagoon has hardly any HP, so with this Ice Shard damage and this Surf, even if the opponent shields, the the Air Slash will take him out in the back. The opponent realizes that and saves most of our time. GG's to that opponent. Once again, we pick up another Talonflame lead. You've seen what we like to do in this matchup, so I'm once again looking to catch the move. Once again, we are successful, so Snorlax is usually operating as the damage sponge. We take the Flame Charge. Let's see if this opponent is going to switch out. They're actually firing again, so it looks like this matchup is playing fairly similar to the last matchup. We don't need to shield this move up, And we are going to pressure shields with this body slam. Let's see what the opponent wants to do. Body slam comes through. The opponent actually no shields. Can we lick down? Unfortunately, they do survive with literally 1 HP and a dream. However, we are still in the 0 shield. Our Crobat does have residual energy, so I can get one more air slash. And we've still got almost a full health Crobat, so we're in a fairly similar position to how we started off. They've now got a Registeel. I'm not going for a bait here. I'm actually going just to debuff them, as I don't think the Registeel would shield anyway. And I think it's going to take 3 Shadow Balls. Perhaps with the defense debuff, it might only take 2. I've never played this matchup, so I wanted to debuff it as we're so far ahead in energy and look to try and do the Shadow Ball. So that looks like it was a good play on my part. You can see they're now into the yellow, so it will only take 2 KO. We don't need to shield a Flash Cannon. We will survive, and we switch out now into Lapras. The fact they're debuffed as well means these Surfs are really threatening. I'm hoping to draw a shield here, as we do need to start getting rid of some shields at some stage. We do draw a shield. I am going to shield up this potential Flash Cannon, even if it's a Flash Cannon. I'm not too bothered, which it is. And they switch out now into a Trevenant. So Trevenant Lapras is kind of neutral. Ice Shard is super effective. Seed Bomb's also super effective. I am going to look to get to back-to-back Surfs, as I don't want to commit a shield here. So this Surf should draw a shield or get the Trevenant really low. We do draw a shield. We get an Ice Shard through. I don't really want a shield, but I'm going to have to. Seed Bomb would KO us, so I'm going to overfarm just by 1. Surf should be enough to KO the Trevenant. I'm really hoping to outpace the big tin can to the Surf to take the match. It actually doesn't KO, so we get 1 more Ice Shard in. We are really low. Can we reach a Surf? We do reach the Surf. Is this going to be enough to take out the Registeel? Surf comes through. They do survive with 1 HP, and we manage to Ice Shard down, so GG's to that opponent. Great battle. Moving on into the next battle, we see the counter user in the lead. They switch out into a Drapion, so I build up a fair amount of energy and switch out into Lapras. Lapras is fairly comfortable in this matchup, even behind on energy. So I am prepared to commit a shield at some stage. I just wanted to get ahead on energy with the Crobat to really make sure that should that Scrafty return, we're in a great position to delete it immediately. We don't shield this Crunch up yet. We are going to have to shield the next one. Surf comes through. The opponent is now at the Crunch, so I am going to shield this up, and even if the opponent wants to match shields, we haven't been debuffed yet. We should be able to Ice Shard down. The opponent goes for a really strange bait of Aqua Tail. I've got no idea why you do that, but either way, this Surf and Ice Shard will be enough to take him out. So we've left our Lapras super low, which is fantastic. Hardly any farm for the Scrafty. We switch out into the Crobat. Well, we actually just come back in with the Crobat as we got taken out. This Poison Fang is going to start to really debuff them. They switch out into a Mach. This is not great. Snorlax doesn't have a great matchup against Mach, but obviously we have 0 play really against the Scrafty. We could do Superpower, but we take so much counter damage. They are electing not to shield. We're also not going to shield as we do resist Poison Jab. They go straight for the Dark Pulse, which is a smart play. We've only got 1 shield. We get to a second Body Slam. This should now really start to pressure them shields. It looks like the opponent is hanging on to them. We finally do get a shield, and at this stage we are just going to let Snorlax go down. Crobat has got a lot of work to do here. They actually go for the Acid Spray, which isn't great as we are now farmed down. We've got a decision to make. I'm going to call the Acid Spray. I really hope it's not a Dark Pulse. They go for the Acid Spray. They switch out now into Scrafty. Scrafty only did 5 counters. That's 6. They're not at the foul play, so I call the bait once again. Crobat has been baited twice. However, we've hung onto our shield. This Poison Fang should threaten the final shield. It doesn't. So we should be able to now Air Slash down. I think again it's only 6. I think they're 1 short of the foul play, but I do choose to shield this move up as I didn't know if I missed the counter. I've been doing that quite a lot, especially in Pokemon switching. You often miss a fast move. However, either way, we should be in a great position. The first Poison Fang gets the shield. This second Poison Fang is going to be enough to take that game. So you can see there the importance of fast move counting. You've always got to try and remember what energy the Pokemon in the back's got as well. So moving on into the next battle, we pick up a lead against Cresselia. I am looking to try and catch a potential future sight on Snorlax. Let's see if we are successful. We do catch the move, but they throw a Moonblast, so they're either baiting us or they're running Grass Knot. They now meet us with a Swampert. This isn't great, however, we can obviously come in later and farm down with our Lapras. Body Slam does do a fair amount of chip damage. They are going to need to Earthquake us to take us out, as Hydro Cannon will not KO from this range. Let's see what the opponent does. They bait us with a Hydro Cannon, and now they are going to be forced to dump the remainder of their energy because they're not going to want to get hit with another Body Slam. Hydro Cannon comes through, it does take us out. I'm deciding, as I've already got residual energy on Crobat, I might come in here with Lapras, as Lapras doesn't have the best matchup against Cresselia. I'm going to look to try and get ahead on energy. I'm not going to shield this up. Earthquake is going to hurt, however, Cresselia doesn't offer hardly any fast move pressure with Psycho Cut. We are now loaded full of energy with both of our Pokemon. They come back into Cresselia. So, as I've got loads of energy, I'm just going to start chipping it down with our Lapras. You saw I attempted to catch the Moonblast, or the Future Sight, sorry, the first time I attempt to catch a Grass Knot. Once again, we are unsuccessful, but we draw out the Talonflame. We actually managed to get to 2 Poison Fangs before they've even thrown a move, so this Talonflame is going to be getting out of it really quick. The opponent's only going to make 1 move. As I've got 2 shields, I am going to shield this up. I am thinking now perhaps they are on Grass Knot, Moonblast, so I think this Crobat could have great play, and even if they're not, I do want to debuff this Cresselia with Poison Fangs. They come back out with a Cresselia. Poison Fang debuff is really nice here because the Surfs don't do too much to Cresselia. With the debuff, we are going to be able to really start threatening it. We have enough energy for an Ice Beam. I highly doubt the opponent is going to risk getting hit with it. We draw a shield with a Surf. Unfortunately, we aren't able to make it to the second one. Let's see what moveset they're on. They are on Grass Knot. That takes out Lapras. Our Crobat is really low. You're going to see a weird glitch here. I do choose to shield this up in case it's a single resisted Moonblast. They go Grass Knot. It goes straight through the shield, which isn't fantastic. Psycho Cuts are hitting us for super effective. This shield really needs to work as it's intended to. We actually successfully shield the next move up, and we get to the Shadow Ball. So Shadow Ball is going to be more than enough to KO the Cresselia. GG's to the opponent. Shadow Crobat putting in work. Once again, we see a Giratina in the lead. We do miss a few turns, which isn't great, so I switch out a little bit early, trying to catch the move onto our Snorlax. They hard punish us with an Obstagoon. We are in a rough spot already. They're on Cross Chop, which is even worse. If they had Night Slash, we would make 2 superpowers. However, the added Cross Chop damage means I'm only going to probably get to 1 move. I fire off this superpower. We do draw a shield. The opponent looks like they're committing to the counter down. I didn't think I'd survive 1 more counter, so I go for this Body Slam just to do a bit of chip damage. And you can see the counter did take us out, so that is a nice bit of chip damage. However, we're still in a really rough spot. Our Lapras obviously doesn't want to see this really healthy Obstagoon. I'm going to debuff it as soon as possible and hope to get rid of this Obstagoon at all costs. Poison Fang doesn't do a lot, however these Air Slashes do really chip it down. We sneak one in when they throw. I'm not going to shield this first Night Slash up, however I might be forced to shield the second. We get another Air Slash through. I'm going to shield this up. They are now energy dry. Let's see if we can Air Slash down. That's 1, that's 2. I'm deciding that I'm just going to get rid of it, as I don't want to take even this counter damage. Our Crobat is getting super low, and I know that Lapras has a great matchup against Giratina. You can see I'm spamming out the Lapras. They switch out into a Mach, so this looks like it is going to be a GG. I am going to have to try and call an Acid Spray bait. I'm really hoping they Acid Spray us, but you're going to see they go straight Dark Pulse, so great recognition from the opponent, knowing that I'm unlikely to shield. I am going to go for this Surf. This should do a nice bit of chip damage. We're at the back-to-back, so again I am going to get rid of this Mach. However, we're not going to be able to deal with this fully healthy Giratina in the back. So back up comes Giratina. They do throw some energy. I'm not going to shield this up. They're at back-to-back Dragon Claws, or almost at back-to-back. I'm going to allow this one to come through, and I'm not going to shield this either, as I don't want to waste everyone's time. So the opponent played really well, and unfortunately we lose this match. GG's to that opponent. So those were the battles featuring Crobat and the 2 tanks. You can see we did have some fairly good success there. A few things like Giratina lead were problematic. However, no matter what you run, you are always going to run into problems. I would highly recommend this team. It's a great budget, non-XL, triple shadow team that you can have success with. So just like to say thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.